Alright guys, welcome back. In this video I will show you how to load the real Aavegotchi images and Aavegotchi graphics from the blockchain. In the last video I showed you how to do multiplayer, so you can go back and watch it, but in this video we will be actually focusing on loading content, loading graphics, loading these Aavegotchis from the blockchain. And for this hackathon that we are participating in the Aavegotchi Game Jam, which you can find the link below and join, for this hackathon it's important to build something within the Aavegotchi universe. And we were discussing with the team how we should do it, whether we should mint a bunch of testnet NFTs to play around with, but the easier solution is that anyone can just create their own Aavegotchi without owning an Aavegotchi by calling a particular function in their smart contract called preview Aavegotchi. So basically, preview Aavegotchi is their smart contract function, and it allows you to get the appearance of any Aavegotchi given traits. All right. So this is what we're gonna do. This is what we're gonna use. So instead of looking into user wallet and seeing if they have Aavegotchi, we're just gonna allow user to choose any Aavegotchi they want. So they can basically customize their Aavegotchi, customize their player in game, and all of this customization, all of these graphics will come from real Aavegotchi assets that we pick from Onchain. So this way anyone can play the game. Even if you don't have Aavegotchi, you can still play the game because you can just select an Aavegotchi and it will work. And this is a very, very easy task, by the way, to do this. The only new thing that we will be learning here are cloud functions. This whole process of fetching the Aavegotchi from the blockchain, I've put it as a cloud function. And if you go to our documentation, Moralis documentation, you can read here what cloud functions are, but basically some things are just easier to do on the server. So in this case, I want to fetch Aavegotchis given some, and by the way, I know this looks scary, but it's very easy. Basically, I want to fetch an image, an Aavegotchi image based on some traits. So I've defined the cloud function right here. And please, if you're new to cloud functions, just watch this video. You will understand everything. It's so simple. But basically, we put a small piece of code on the Moralis server, on the backend. So I defined a new function here that will be running on the server. Then I pick my Web3 provider, and we provide you with all the blockchains within the cloud function. You just pick whatever you want. You don't need any RPC, no, you don't need anything. We provide you that already. You just write moralis.web3 by chain, and in this case, this code right here is Matic. And then we need contract address. So this is the Aavegotchi contract. And then we need Aavegotchi ABI. So as you can see, it's just a giant blob of data. It's huge, but you don't need to worry about it because it's just constant blob of data, all right? So you don't have to worry about it, just skip it. You can find all the code below, so you can just copy it. So then we create an instance of this contract, and then we simply call preview Aavegotchi. And as you can see, we have some collateral address and haunt ID. So these are just constants that we have to have in order to call this function. But then there are a few variables, like for example, the traits. This will come from the game. So here's where you can allow your user to create different traits and different equipables. But all in all, I would recommend to just copy this whole code right here when you're creating your game. You can download this cloud.js file, just copy it all like this, and then go into your cloud functions, go into your Moralis server, so for example here, and just paste it in here. So this is how it will look like. You have your server, go to cloud function, and just paste the whole thing here, all right? And that's enough, that's enough. You don't have to go and understand each and every detail because it's very simple. The only thing it does is fetch Aavegotchi from the blockchain based on traits. And so once you have pasted your code for this cloud function here in cloud functions, just click save file in the correct server. And so once you've done that, we can continue creating our game. And the only addition I've done here is in the preload. I have one line of code here to call the actual function get SVGs, and this is the function that we created here, that we copy pasted, get SVGs, as you can see right here. So get SVGs, we call this function on the server and we give it some traits here, and this is what we can allow the user to change. So here you can select UI to change the traits. All right, maybe when you build your game, your character can pick up different assets, and then you can in real time change the way your character looks like. And you can fetch this data from the blockchain. So here, just altering these two arrays you can get completely different images for your Aavegotchi. So it's up to you now to build some kind of game, build some kind of world where they can maybe buy assets, maybe they can level up their character and their character changes how it looks. So play around with these numbers. Then we fetch, so we get the raw SVG by calling the get SVG. This will just be text, SVG text. Then there are these 2 lines of code that basically take this SVG text and they make it a resource, a resource that Phaser can use, and then we load it. And then we'll load this resource using the new URL that we just created. And this may take, a few milliseconds. So we need to init the player. I've moved this logic of initializing the player into own separate function because I want to wait maybe a second or so, the time it takes to load it. And then I initialize the player, and that's basically it. It's the only change. I mean, the only new code is this to load, and then player is now a separate function. Also, I've renamed the way competitor image looks like. If you play this game on in different windows, let me pull it up here. As you can see, my own character is gonna be this Aavegotchi, but on other windows, I look like another character because I basically want to have one look for my player and another look for the competitors that I'm playing against. So here's another example that I have this guy, as Aavegotchi, and this guy in my multiplayer being as some other character. So this is something that you can play around with. Maybe instead of showing a better solution here would be to show the specific image of the competitor, what they have chosen in their game. But you have to build a mechanism for this, how to communicate which image they've chosen. So guys, play around with this. So I can show you, for example, if I close, let me close this. Let me also reload the game. So now I'm alone again. But for example, equipables. Let's see if we can change something like this to 2 and see if something changes. Yeah, I don't know, did something change? Maybe. What is this? If I change this to 1 and I reload. Yeah, change this to 4. Yeah, see, now the hat is different. So this seems to be the hat. If I put this to 6 instead of 4, yeah, now it's no hat. All right, so you can play around here. What is this? 4. Now there's some, now the hat is back. Interesting. Let's see. I changed this. Does anything change? He's holding something in his hand. But go and experiment right here. If you are new to our Discord, go and join it. I will reach out to the team and I will ask them more how these different traits work to the Aavegotchi team. But I will be sharing this in our Discord. So go to our Discord, which you can find using the link below. And you become a Moralis mage. Everyone in our Discord, in the Moralis DAO Discord, becomes a mage. You become a Moralis mage. This is the name of our community, of the members of our community. So when you become Moralis mage, you go here to Aavegotchi Game Jam, and here we can keep discussing this hackathon. And we can speak more how it works and how assets should be fetched, this and that. But all in all, guys, this is how you fetch assets from chain. This is how you fetch real Aavegotchis from on-chain. Hope you learned. And the task that I give you now to experiment is to allow the user to set these variables, play around with them, see what they change, and tell me how this should be in order to make it as good as possible. So go into the Aavegotchi chat here and see what you find. And maybe together we can figure out what these different characteristics are. I think this is it. It could be, when you load the player, you could just put the scale to 1 just to make it a bit easier to see what changes, because I see one of the problems. Yeah, see, we need the big picture to see what's happening. And then if I change this to 3, let's see what changes. Did something, yeah, man, maybe some small detail that changes. I can't even see it. Let's see, I changed that thing. When the hat changes, I can clearly see it. Let's see, I changed this. Maybe something in the face changes. Let's see, I change this to 8. Or maybe the background changes. What would be cool as the next step is to have like a slider here. I can slide. Maybe you can put a slider for each one of these different numbers, so I can slide it and I can see the changes in real time. So I slide the thing and I can see the updated picture in real time. Also, since our last tutorial, we had some of you guys reaching out on Twitter and showing that you've actually taken our last tutorials and you've built more complete games with them. So I will show you this. We have this one from a long time follower, by the way. Big shout out to you. From long time Good Morning Crypto viewer. You see, he built this game where you can actually jump around and you can collect points based on these things on these crates that you collect. So yeah, please experiment. I want to see more like this. If you send something like this to me on Twitter, I would be happy to retweet and engage with you. But guys, this is how we add real things from the blockchain, real content, real assets from the blockchain. If you have any questions, join Discord and have a great day, guys.